Gotham Knights, it's almost here, guys, and you're going to definitely want to know the 10 things I wish I knew before I started playing that are not only going to help you level up, but are also going to help you become more effective when you're playing the game and avoid a couple headaches and avoid missing a couple things along the way. So if all of this sounds interesting, guys, a like would be greatly appreciated, and let's dive in on the 10 things I wish I knew before playing. So we're going to start out with some very simple stuff that you probably already know from playing other simple games, but the first thing I want to tell you guys is you want to make sure you scan everything. Now, when I mean scan everything, is you're going to want to make sure you're constantly scanning. Now, the reason why you want to do that, because tip number one, it's going to help you identify chests. And chests are going to be playing a crucial part to not only you leveling up, but they're also going to be playing a crucial part to when it comes to being able to find items within the world and also materials. When you guys are doing content, side missions, or when you're doing the storyline, you're definitely going to want to be highlighting these chests and picking them up. For tip number two, it's going to involve scanning as well, but this is going to be involving a second mechanic, which is going to allow you to scan and also mark enemies. Marking enemies is extremely important in the game because sometimes you want to go super stealthy, sometimes you get bonuses in the game for going stealthy and killing enemies without being detected, or infiltrating an area without being detected, and marking the enemy is going to help you keep track of the enemy without you having them visually on your sight. So definitely, guys, scanning and making sure you pin the enemy is extremely important. All right, so on to number three, guys. Number three is you're going to want to get on your bike, and once you guys are on your bike, you're going to want to start scanning, and this is called drive-by scanning, and it's extremely important because this is going to help you highlight a lot of things in the game. Not only is it going to help you highlight the crime that's within that area, but it's also going to let you target other stuff that is found within the world, and this is something that gets a little bit overlooked and something that you could easily miss if you didn't know. Even though it's part of the scanning mechanics, it's extremely important that you understand. Now we're going to jump into a number four, which also involves the scanning. And that is the ability of being able to scan while you're floating in the air or gliding as well. Now this is going to be very similar to the other scan mechanics that we taught. But for example, my character, Batgirl, she's up with a paraglide like this, and you could actually scan as you're doing this. This is a very good way of actually finding the collectibles for a specific character, finding the hidden caches, where we're going to talk a little bit more right as long as we get through the video. And this is going to be very effective for you guys to be able to locate, once again, very important stuff within the city. And you can actually do this as you go from one section to another. Now, speaking about that, guys, you're going to want to make sure that you unlock fast travel as you quickly and you possibly can. Now, in order for you guys to unlock fast travel, you're going to need to lend someone a helping hand, and that is going to be Lucas Fox. Now, Lucas Fox is going to help you unlock the fast travel mechanics, so you'll find him early in the stages of the game, and what I would recommend is definitely go ahead and talk to him as quickly as you possibly can, and maybe unlock two of the borough sites, and that way you could have fast travel to those specific locations as you progress through the game. Unlocking fast travel is not that difficult. Basically, you just got to scan some kind of drones that are floating in the air, and that automatically gives you that fast travel for that specific borough. All right, now for tip number five, guys. For tip number five, guys, since you guys are scanning the map as you're progressing, you're going to notice that there are these little icons right here called secret caches. Now, these secret caches are extremely important because these secret caches are going to help you level up in the sense of being able to find items that are going to be suitable for you that are going to be dropping in heroic mode. And it's extremely important that you take a look at these because these are going to actually help you get items that you probably need at the instance that you're looking for a specific item. Which leads me to tip number 6. One of the cool things about these secret cache is the fact that you could actually target loot. So if you guys notice, when you hover over these particular items, it's going to tell you exactly what drops. So it's going to tell you if it's a melee weapon, a ranged weapon, if it's an armor. So if you're missing an armor, you're missing a specific item, you could actually target these secret caches to obtain the item that you're probably missing to be able to upgrade your gear and upgrade your playstyle and also your character. So it's a very good way to actually target loot from these secret caches. All right, so now for tip number 7, guys, and this is we're going to go into our gear section. So as you're progressing throughout the game, guys, you're not going to want to overlook crafting. Crafting is going to be very important because crafting is going to help you progress through the game, and you're going to want to make sure you're constantly keeping an eye over your power, your health, and defense. But you also want to make sure you primarily focus on your melee and your ranged weapon. The suit is not so much important as far as your health and defense at the early stages of the game. The things that are really important is your melee weapon and your ranged weapon. So my suggestion for tip number 7 is make sure you're constantly crafting a melee weapon to not only increase the damage you're actually doing, but also increase the critical chance and the critical damage that particular weapon is. So for tip number 7, you're going to make sure you're crafting melee weapons as quickly as you possibly can and as you're leveling up to get higher damage and higher crit chance. All right, so for tip number 8, now this is going to be primarily, guys, almost similar to the crafting part that I want to mention, but you want to make sure you're paying attention to the items that are dropping. So you're going to notice that if we're looking here at this screen, you're going to notice that within the screen underneath where it says X16 and it has the little emblem, you're going to notice that there are there's 3 little squares. You're going to notice that the melee weapon has 1 square, and you're going to notice that the ranged weapon has a total of 2 squares. Now, this is going to be extremely important because some of the items, whether you're crafting them, some of these items are not all going to have these little 3 squares. As you guys see here, these are all missing the squares. And even though these are level 30s, there are some level 15s, level 12s, level 8s that have the little squares. So you want to make sure you're constantly looking for those items. And even though that might be a lower level, you're going to want to make sure you prioritize the items that drop with the little squares. These are going to allow you guys to place mods in them, and mods play a huge role in this game because mods are going to give you a huge advantage to increase the amount of damage your suit does, to increase the amount of crit chance that your suit does, or your melee weapon, your ranged weapon. So for tip number 8, guys, look for stuff in your inventory that has mod slots to increase that mod and that damage of that particular item. All right, so for tip number 9, guys, we're going to want to make sure we do infusing. And what is infusing? That is based on mods. So I'm going to give you guys a quick example. So you're going to be getting a lot of mods for your suits, your melee, and your range. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you infuse them. And for some of you guys, you probably don't even know this exists. So let's take this level 30 mod, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to go and infuse this. So we're going to press Y, and it's going to allow us to infuse a total of 4 different chipsets. So we're going to do here, we're going to add that one, and that's going to increase the rarity. We're going to go ahead and add this one, and that's going to give us 4. We're going to increase this one, and then we're just going to add this one more and just click here, accept. And then it's going to tell us, guys, what the mod chip is actually getting incremented when we're using it. So basically what this is going to do, it's going to increase the rarity of this particular mod. It's basically going to create a mod that's going to be a level 30 mod with power of 456 and health 76. It's extremely important that you start infusing these because what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to get you better mods instead of having these white mods sitting there. As you guys see here, we got an uncommon here at level 30 because we went ahead and infused these mods as opposed to just having whites just laying around. Now, what you could also do with these mods as well, if you're fighting mods that you're not wanting, you could also go ahead and use these particular mods to go ahead and dismantle them so you could get materials. And that is bonus tip that I want to give you guys, is when you are leveling up, as you level up, you're going to be getting items that are lower than your level. You're going to want to be dismantling these so you guys can go ahead and start building on the craft, on the materials you need to be able to get the stuff that you really want to get. So you have enough salvage to create better weapons, to create better ranged weapons, and to create better suits. Now, these are the tips I wish I would have known sooner, and I'm pretty sure at least 1 to 2 to 3 or even all 10 of these tips that are going to help you in your journey as you play Gotham Knights. Now, speaking about continuing your journey in Gotham Knights, you're going to want to know how to level up fast in the game. So you're definitely going to want to check out this video that's popping up right now in the screen, and that's going to teach you guys how to level up super fast in the game. And for those Timmy and Johnny who are saying leveling doesn't matter, remember guys, the gear that drops in the game is based on the level that you have. So you want to make sure that you're leveling accordingly because you don't want to get really good gear and then have to be stuck with a level 15 once you're level 30. So you definitely don't want that to happen. So make sure you guys do consider leveling up as a priority. I hope you guys are enjoying our content here on the channel, guys. We're going to have you completely covered with everything Gotham Knights. We're going to have guides. We're going to have builds. We're going to have all the good stuff that you're definitely going to want to make sure you watch. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you guys won't miss when those videos go live. In addition to that, guys, if you want to show a little bit more love and support and enjoy what we're doing here in the channel, do consider becoming part of the Bold Nation because that does help us out a lot. Hit that join button down below and support the channel if you guys so choose for. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.